WFUZ-TV, Coastal Alabama, Northwest Florida, the People's Voice.
Hello, welcome to WFUZ-TV. I'm Blair Castro, and this is Thomas Jenkins, and we're here today with our friends Joshua Brown and Jessika Brown. They own Beachbilly Lifestyle, and we're here to talk a little bit about their business, how they started, how they operate, and kind of compare notes to what it's like to be an entrepreneur in this area and some of the stuff you do with working with your family and what your business is all about.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you for having us on here. Yeah. This is awesome and great studio. And this is our first podcast we've done actually over here in Alabama. Nice. Usually our stuff's in Florida. So thank you for inviting us to come over and be a part of this cool thing.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us a little bit about Beachbilly and how you started it and what inspired you to kind of run with it?
Yeah. So Beachbilly Lifestyle is actually a play off of Hillbillies. There's no hills here in Florida. There's beaches, so we're Beachbillies. It's all about country living next to the beach, or actually by any large body of water. You can be a Beachbilly at a lake, a river, even a swimming pool in Michigan, you know? And so we started it in about 2016. Me and Jessica's been together since we met the first night we moved into college, like our freshman year in college. They had a pool party, and we bumped into each other. And, you know, she's been trying to get rid of me ever since, but it has been very unsuccessful in that. And so we've been together, and we lost her mom to cancer when we were dating, when we were in college. And then my mom kind of became, once we got married, was kind of like her adult mom and was the grandmother and stuff. And so just through life and tragedy, I ended up losing my mom to cancer too. And I remember leaving her funeral, and we had 3 small boys at the time, and I was working a job that I knew that wasn't going to be lasting forever. And I was like, I just need to change. I was like that point in my life where I was like, I just needed something different, you know? And so I got this idea to get some land close to the beach and start raising chickens and growing vegetables and all that stuff. And she was like, okay, I don't know if he's, you know, losing it or whatever it is, but she was like, I like that idea. And so we started doing that, and we would be clearing this land and then taking our kids to the beach and like fishing, you know, trying to teach them to surf and just hanging out, being beach bums. And this older gentleman came over to our property one time and was helping me cut some trees down. And he was like, man, you live like a bunch of hillbillies at the beach. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I like that. And I'm like, we are, because in a way that was through us kind of having the loss of my mom, and like, which is kind of like her second mom, nature kind of like healed us, man, getting out there and messing with chickens and growing vegetables and having the kids do that. We kind of like lost ourselves in our family and doing that stuff, you know. And it was funny because when we had this land, we had to get a structure before. In Florida, you pretty much got to get a permit to urinate on your property. You got to do everything, you know what I'm saying? And so we didn't have any electricity, and we had a house that we were like renting, that we kind of let the lease go up on because we was going to move out there. And so we had about 5 or 6 months that we were like, what do we do? Rent an apartment for a little bit. We ended up buying a camper from our friends. A pop-up camper. The kids were small. Yeah. It was like a 1980s pop-up camper. We like fixed it up and went and bought like a generator and made like we couldn't tell a lot of people at the time because they didn't want like
we didn't want them taking our kids.
Yeah, health services coming to take our kids. But we pretty much like lived off the grid for like a couple of months, for like 3 or 4 months. And so it was a really cool experience. And so we were kind of just living this way. And that guy was like, man, you live like a bunch of hillbillies at the beach, like I said. And I couldn't get that out of my head. And one day we were clearing the land. We were driving over the bridge. I don't know if you've ever been over that bridge in Perdido Key, where like, you know, and it's like right when you go over and you see the water, the island, all the beautiful condos. It's like, it's kind of breathtaking. You can drive over that bridge like we do multiple times a day. And I still, when I drive over it, it's like this calmness and relaxation comes over me. I was driving over that bridge and the phrase Beachbilly came to me. And I was like, man, that's how we live. We're not hillbillies, we're Beachbillies. And then we got to the beach, and I was telling her about it. And I was like, this Beachbilly thing. She was like, I like that. And we're getting out, going to the beach, and I'm looking at all the cars in the parking lot. And they were like vehicles from like Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Georgia. I'm like, these are all Beachbillies too, man. These are the people that live in the country, and they save up to come down here for a week or 2 out of the year and live how we live. You know, they love the country life and the beach life. They're Beachbillies. And we went home and spent probably the last $400 we had in our savings at the time and trademarked it, copyrighted it, and Beachbilly Lifestyle was born. And so she was like, well, what are we going to do with this? So I'm like, it's a lifestyle brand. And there's other people who live the lifestyle. And she was like, yeah, but how are we going to make money doing this?
But what's your job?
Yeah, what does that mean? What's that mean? Yeah.
Because I'm a school teacher, and I'm like, I know what my job is, so what do I tell people my husband does? Like,
yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, and so she was like, well, what are we going to do? And I'm like a dyslexic college dropout. She's the smart one. She's the one that finished school and was like, hey, I'm going to, you go be a free spirit. I'll do this. And so I've always like kind of floated around. But I told her, I was like, it's a lifestyle brand and we're going to promote it. Other people are going to identify with it. And we were at the beach again one day. And she was like, well, what's the first way we're going to be able to make money through it? And about that time, somebody was walking by with a Salt Life shirt on. I was like, we're going to sell T-shirts. And that's how it started. We had like a little heat press. We were making shirts in the living room. Mm-hmm. And then about that time is when Duck Dynasty was like at its peak. And it was a big TV show. And at the time, I didn't know what Duck Dynasty was. And it was this family that made a lot of money selling duck calls, right? And they were having fun doing it. And so I was like, well, hey, we need to promote it visually, show people what the lifestyle is. And so went to Best Buy and bought a $200 camcorder, the cheapest one I could find that I could put a microphone into it because I knew I needed good audio. Mm-hmm. And I've got a $70 editing software called Corel and went home and taught myself how to edit videos. And when we'd go to the beach, when we work in the garden, we'd sit there and make videos about, hey, this is how you raise chickens. This is how you grow vegetables in sandy soil here, This is what it's like to take your family to the beach to do the adults. And we started a little YouTube channel. And then from that, I was like, we need to get bigger than YouTube. And so I started just kind of calling around. A lot of it, for anybody listening, if you're trying to start, a career, a job, don't let not knowing stuff hold you back. I got so far out of naively doing stuff you probably technically aren't supposed to do, but I didn't know. I would just randomly call people and be like, hey, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. And they would, I guess they'd feel sorry for me. So they'd like give me a little help or a little answer. And there was like this local access channel. And I was like, y'all need our TV show on your station.
I saw that show when I was staying in the Pensacola, either the Days Inn or the other one down there downtown.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Back in 2016. And
man, dude, we came a long way. And it was like, I didn't know what I was doing, but people liked it because people identified with it. But the way we got it on there is they were like, oh, we have our own production crew, blah, blah, blah. And it was one of the things I had to pay to put a show on there. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, how about if I do everything? I'll record it, I'll edit it, I'll produce it. I just bring it to you when you air it. And then we just split the commercial thing. And they were like, okay. And so that's what we did. And we did it for like a year, but it got to be like so much. And then we moved to WFGX, which was like the sister station to WAR in Pensacola, the ABC affiliate. Through that, met someone, and they were like, hey, man, it's going to be easier to get commercial spots on this channel than it is Blab. No offense to Blab, but nobody watches, Well, we all back then, but now they've... Anyway, I don't want to get anybody mad at me. Love you, Blab. No, don't edit that out. It's all good. But anyway, so they were like, hey, move it over here. And about that time, I learned. It's like anything else. You don't learn it overnight. I mean, I look at your awesome equipment, man. You obviously got a cool thing going.
I mean, I'm listening to you, and we're having similar tracks. Like, I grew up on a 5-acre homestead. We had chickens and dogs and goats and ducks. And, I dropped out of college, and I hyper-focus on things that I love. Like, I started fresh roasting coffee, started making, chocolate bars that I'm all trying to get together to sell at market. So similar minds and tracks. It's interesting.
That's it, man. And we're the ones that, it's tough. Being an entrepreneur.
It is.
It's tough, and people don't realize it, but
just bringing in the video element to your brand. And in and of itself, you have to literally train yourself fully like a student of film.
It is, man. And I've learned a lot, and I've gotten better through it. Luckily, I'm blessed now that I have a production team that's come and taken it from that and brought it to the national show we have now, which is on Amazon, Tubi, and the Roku channel. Barnes and Company, they've done a great job with that. And then we have a producer now that wants to get that and bring it to either like Peacock or Netflix. And so I don't have to do a lot of that stuff anymore. But what I've had to learn to do is daggum social media, which, you know, if I was 15, I'd be a lot better at it, you know.
Right.
And I wish I had a daughter. I have 3 boys and they're not into the social media thing. If I had a daughter, I'd have my social media person. But that's another thing about being an entrepreneur person now, or a business owner now. Not only you're stressed and focused on how do I get funds and like promote and do my business, but you got to be a daggum social media marketing person now.
Yeah, all the
You know?
SEO, everything. It's insane the amount of productive output you have to have if you want to run a business for yourself.
And you got to departmentalize stuff because what's good about having a partner is the days that I'm like stressing over it, she's like, it's okay. And the days she's like stressing, I'm like, it's okay. I don't know if y'all watch the show The Office. It's one of our favorite shows, The Office. It's that episode where Pam and Michael Scott start the paper company. And at the beginning, she's like the calm one. He's freaking out. She's like, it's all right. At the end of the episode, she starts freaking out. Like, what did I do? And he's like, hey, we're going to get through this. And that's what I feel like we do. Even at this point, even now with having the show, with our apparel being in places like Albans Island and all the great things happen, there's still times where you feel so overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, and that's the dichotomy that me and Blair share too. You know, we take turns on leaning on each other, for different things, and it's
You got to.
It's very you do have to. You have to have a partner in this day and age if you want to be that kind of hyper productive entrepreneur type that does everything yourself because you want control, because you want to put out the best representation of what you think should be. Yeah, you're going to have a partner that fully supports that.
And
And
we've
then-
had a lot of help along the way too.
Oh,
like
tremendous help.
mentors, people that have helped, you know, grow our business, give us suggestions or help
Where
us
do you
out.
go for that?
We found them.
Yeah.
Josh
Did you
is
seek
a bit
it or
of a
did it?
talker,
Okay.
so he just talks to everybody, and he will just meet people, and I think
That's where
people
I can
just
fall
in
short.
love with him, and then they want to help him, and I know a guy, or I know somebody that can help you with this. So he's good at networking without networking.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just gets out and talks and just meets people, and just
She does that
you know.
very well. I have to have an instrument in my hand to.
I'm that way too. I'm good. I have my 3 friends, and I don't need to talk to a lot.
But I can look at your setup here and tell you are a lot better at some things than I am. And so we all have our strengths. And so partner with someone that kind of, what's it I'm looking for? Like they make your, the stuff you're not good at, they're good at.
Yes, exactly. Fill in the gaps.
Yeah, I don't know what
100%.
the correct term from that
Yin
is.
and yang, I don't know.
Yeah, something
He's
like
definitely
that.
like the creative big picture one, and he's like, I have this idea for coffee, and we're gonna roast our own beans, and we're gonna do this, and I always support it. And then I sit there and I go, what's the profit margins? Let me make a spreadsheet. How do we get this like technically pushed to a real thing?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I guess sort of like you in the business side, and I also handle and I do like digital marketing for a living, so I have that. But he's really good at social media too, so we've been able to grow even like this. We just are pretty new, but now we're just getting amazing guests like you guys and having people come in. It's just been a really cool experience because with someone else, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I mean, people be like, it's like,
I would
what do you
rather
want
charge
me to
toward gunfire than do paperwork.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, it's a blessing to have her to,
Yeah, I'm not
help me out.
not an administrative person at all.
And proofread his emails.
Yeah, my emails are kind of like, hi, me Josh. And she's like, I sent an email one time to someone and she got home and like read it and she was like, do not ever send another email.
Or if I'm working, he'll like send it to me first, and
I read my
edit it.
stuff out loud to get approval sometimes because I can push the limits of acceptable social language.
But it is about just putting yourself out there. Like with you, obviously you're a musician, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime you're on stage, just push your stuff. But another thing too is when we started Beachbilly, and I hope this comes across the right way. When we started Beachbilly, there was from the Gulf Shores to Navarre area, there was about 3 other brands that started the same time we did. They had more money. They had more people on their team. They probably were more educated. But what they didn't do, they didn't outwork and network. And that's the one thing I had going for me. So we went and filmed, like we did a deal with Walmart. Crazy story how that came about. I go and film a thing in Panama City. It was like right when we got to show, and it was beginning stages of that. It was the first thing we filmed. We showed up there. The guy that had the condo for us, that kind of fell through. They put us up in another place. It didn't have hot water. We had to film like a hog hunt till about 4 o'clock that morning. We get back, And we thought that we were going to be able to check out at 10. We had to be out at 6. So like we get like 2 hours of sleep. We have to film another thing that day. It was horrible, right? And had to take a cold shower, which was probably the best thing that woke me up. We filmed the next day, this segment. We come home, I'm tired. But we always have this thing to where if I'm out of town for a couple days, when I come in, we'll go on a date. It's like a date night. She comes, I get home, I'm like worn out, and she's like, we don't have to go. And I'm like, part of me is kind of like, yeah, let's not go. But there was something in me like, no, go out.
It was March Madness.
It was March Madness. That's what it was. It was basketball. March Madness. I want to go watch the game. And so I was like, you know what? I need a couple drinks anyway. Let's go. And so we go up to our favorite spot, the Perdido Key Sports Bar. Shout out to Judy. Perdido Key Sports Bar. That's where you get the Beachbilly burger. But so we go there, and once I get about 1 or 2 drinks in me, I start getting excited again about life, and I'm not tired. Mm-hmm. And we see these people there. They're all in Arkansas gear. And so I always have stickers with me. And everywhere I go, I'm like, hey, check out Beachbilly. And I give people a sticker, this and that. And I'm actually kind of an introvert guy, but I hide it because I get like, I'm not a good introvert, and I get like real like uncomfortable. So I fake it with like just wanting to talk to people, which is, So I'm giving these people a sticker. I said, hey, y'all hillbillies from Arkansas, but y'all here in Perdido Key, so now you're Beachbillies. And I turn around and start walking away, and they're like, oh, no, come back. Tell us more about this Beachbilly thing. And I'm telling them about it, and my wife's right there, and they're older, like an older couple. And they're like, oh, is that your pretty wife? I was like, yeah, it is. And it's like about 4 couples. And so they were like talking. They were like, man, would you ever want to get in Walmart? And I was like, who wants to put their brand in Walmart? And then I'm like thinking for a second, I'm like looking around, I'm like, wait, the home of Walmart's in Arkansas. We are in Perdido Key. You don't know who's here. And I was like, nah, I'm just joking. I was like, man, that'd be a dream come true to be in Walmart, because it really is. It'd be cool.
Was her name Walton?
No. But I was like, no, I'd be in my dream. I wouldn't know how to do it. And they're like, well, hey, come to find out, they were like buyers, executives. Some of them were like retired executives from Walmart, and they're all friends there. And like 4 weeks later, we get flown up to Bentonville, and they're back door, all because we went out. If I wouldn't have went out and ate that night, right place, right time, handed out stickers, doing the thing. And a lot of it, that's what it is. There's been,
It's when you don't feel like it. That's when the magic happens. It happens every time.
That's it.
Going through that a lot too. It seems like there's a lot of that right place, right time. Just push yourself, and it just falls into place. It's really weird how that happens.
Because it's hard when you put because there's a lot of wasted energy that goes out. I'm sure y'all have experienced it too, where you do things, you're thinking like, oh, this is going to be big, and you do a lot of stuff, and then it goes, because obviously there's a lot of people that do this. There's a lot of talkers out there. Everybody knows someone. Oh, my good friend is this person. Oh, I can hook you up. And everyone knows somebody and can do this. A lot of empty promises, yes. A lot of empty promises. And so sometimes you can feel like jaded to want to go do that, but there again, it's like when your back's against the wall, it's like, what else was I going to do?
Yeah, it's still going to be, anything's going to be better than zero at the end of the day.
And after we stress, like, you stress over financial. Is this going to work? Is that going to work? Like, because I feel with owning your own business, it's like every day is a battle. It's like you climb one mountain, and then you look at all these other mountains. You're like, you kind of enjoy it for a second, but you're like, let's go. And you got to go through, and you got to climb another mountain. And not everybody can do it, but I tell you what, I'd much rather be doing this than anything else. Because I've punched that time clock, and I've been yelled at by a boss. I'd much rather this boss yell at me than somebody else. And I've been there to where I've like worked so hard for other people and corporations, and I just don't want to do that. I want to work for myself, and I'm blessed to be able to get to do that. And we don't drive fancy vehicles. We don't live in a big house. Because we're still growing. That stuff's never appealing to us. Like a lot of people think like, oh, once you get to this certain point that you have all this money, you have all that stuff. But, it's nice to be able to pay bills. It's nice to be able to buy groceries. It's nice to be able to go out to eat. But the driving force of trying to build something for our kids and build a legacy for other Beachbillies out there, that's like with our YouTube comment or our content, or like, I really like Facebook. I don't really do a lot of stuff on YouTube, but like Facebook and Instagram. I put a post out yesterday about having a praying mama, and my mom was. And I was like, I feel like that a lot of great things has happened to me. And I know it's probably not a thing that everybody agrees with, but I'm just thankful of that, because I feel like these blessings come. And there are so many comments on people being like, I needed to hear that today, this and that. That's the stuff that really drives me.
Yeah.
And then when I meet people, they're like, man, I'm a Beachbilly too. And I love your stuff. Man, that's what's great, you know. I hope that makes sense. I can keep rambling on about that. Is there something else you want to talk about? Or
what is it about YouTube that you don't like to where you're more prolific on other platforms?
I seem like it's harder to grow a community on YouTube right now.
It does seem like that. I've been on there 19 years or so is why I ask, and I've got less than 400 followers on there. Whereas like TikTok, in a month or two, I had a couple thousand and a very well followed live stream.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Mediacom's sucky internet. Thanks, Mediacom.
Yeah. Come on, Mediacom. No, I feel like that it's been harder for us to grow it, and YouTube does really good. Like I put YouTube Shorts on every day. I try to post every day something for when I say all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, which both are Meta, TikTok, and then YouTube Shorts. I don't really do X now, which used to be Twitter, because it's kind of a pay to play. You got to pay so much to get your stuff boosted. I don't, and they want you to get their check mark. And even if you go in there and look, which I don't agree with, it's like, oh, if you buy this package, we'll minimally boost your stuff. If you buy this package, we'll really boost your stuff. And so to me, I like that grassroots movement, that natural.
Yeah,
I feel like, I see a lot of people that have like 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers on something, but they'll have like 12 likes on it.
Right.
Which means probably 95% of their followers is bots and not real.
Right.
And so I like it when we put out a post, we get a ton of comments. We want to build a community. Right. Kind of like what you guys are doing. Y'all trying to build a community with this. Discussion base and all that stuff, which is going to be very beneficial to you guys. And so, and with YouTube, they rather push the long format videos, which is kind of what we do for our TV show. And so
that makes sense.
It's easier for me. I'd much rather focus on the show than the YouTube, and that will come later. Like there will be a time when we kind of get back and really try to grow a YouTube community. But
I mean, we started on YouTube just because that was what we knew, and we were trying to figure out how to raise chickens or how to do this kind of gardening. And
that was about the only viable video platform then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so. And I feel like back then people knew what they were doing. It was a lot easier to gain followers. Now it's a lot harder.
It was a lot less saturated.
Yeah.
For sure, because everybody now has a vlog kit. You can just go to Walmart.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Same thing with social media. Everyone tries to do it, but I've learned here lately that there's keys to that too. People talk about the algorithm. What I've learned is there's really no algorithm is people, and so like if you're putting stuff out there, it's you want to do stuff that catches your eye. If you're someone out there that's struggling, I'll give you a quick tip, or for anybody. The first 3 seconds. Every video that I have in the last 28 days, 29 days now, on Facebook, we've done over 11 million views. On Instagram, Facebook's 11 million. Instagram, we're up to 2.7 million. TikTok, we're at like 400 or 500,000. And what I've done is I kind of have an ADD brain. I'm like, okay, what's the kind of stuff that catches my eye? And if a video doesn't spark my interest in the first 3 to 5 seconds, or if it doesn't give me a reason to like, hey, stay longer because you're going to learn something in the video, I'm off to the next one. Yeah. And so everything I do, I try to catch people's eye. Even with her, I'm like, would you watch this? And to my sons, I'm like, would you watch this? And some of them, they're like, no, I wouldn't. And some of them, they're like, yeah, I'd watch that. It's like, okay, cool. And I've posted that. And another one is when I started posting every day, sometimes if I have a lot of stuff, I'll post twice a day, and it don't have to be like a great put together video. Sometimes it's just me out for a run or a walk and a thought comes to my head and I'll pick up the phone and be like, hey, you know what? I was thinking about this or blah, blah, or I'll give a point to something. I'll say it, but I try to post every day. And once I've done that, consistency, it feels like a skyrocketed, but,
that's the hardest thing to do for me because I overthink it. And it's like, oh, I want it to look perfect. I want to be that. But, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Just do it.
Just do it.
And we tell each other, both of us tell each other that exact thing all the time. Like, just make it exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect right now.
That was
Yeah.
kind of our hang up when getting started with the podcast, or a lot of stuff. Like you said, don't let not knowing like stop you from doing it, because it's like, just do it. Just pull the Band-Aid off and do it. When I was going to run for office, and I am running for office now, I just jumped into the race, and I was like, I don't have a perfect website up. I don't have this. And I was like, he was like, just do it. Just go file the paperwork, and it'll all come like when it's supposed to come, and just roll with it. And that's kind of, it's crazy because I advise people not to do that and to be prepared. But then when I'm doing it myself, I'm like, let's just do
Yeah.
whatever,
Well, it's hard.
out there.
You want to put out a good product, and then part of you. But I get that. But yeah, that when they say consistency is the most important thing. It's like with fitness. They say it's not like what you do working out wise. It's just go do something, And it's the same thing with social media. Just put something out there because, people will like it. And all the videos that have hit, I have never put a video out and then right then it go, phew. Like some videos do better than others at the beginning, but it's always like 3 or 4 days. Like I'll tell her, I'll be like, oh, this one's ramping up. And I'll wake up one day, Sunday, we had a video that's right now at 2.9 million views. And I posted on a Thursday. It did all right. Probably got about, 5,000-6,000 views between Facebook and Instagram, nothing crazy. I woke up Sunday morning, it was at 26,000 views. By noon, we're at like 275. And I looked at her, I was like, here we go. This was taking off. And sure enough, now it's like at 3 million views. And so it's never that day. It's just you got to post and go on to the next. You climb that mountain, then you go down, you climb another mountain.
Exactly. So you were talking about entrepreneurial mountains, and it made me think earlier, like just the monumental task of making the technology that you are using work, the times, the hours, the days that I've spent at this computer just trying to get Premiere to act right, or something to render, or there's a dropped frame somewhere and I have to figure out why, and all the, I don't think people that don't do video stuff and they'll watch content but it's another content creator, but the hours of wrestling with the tools that you're given, you would think that they would work better for the price you have to pay for them, for one thing. But just, it takes forever to put a video out there sometimes.
Yeah, it does, man. And then, just finding shortcuts. I had a software on my phone, an app that I was using for videos, and they just did a update. And now they can use anything you upload to it. I just found out from another creator that anything you upload to it, they can use it, use your likeness, your image, all that stuff without your permission. And so I was like, dang. So I had to go find another app to use, and I tried a couple, and I found the one that I'm with now, and I like it, but I had to sit there and spend half a day relearning. Heck, today, man, I had our grass. It's been raining. I couldn't cut grass, right? So she had a thing she had to do with the kids earlier today. And we have like our middle son. In a couple of days, we're having to take him off to college. So she's getting all that stuff ready. And so I had to cut the yard. We got a pretty big piece of property. So I cut grass all day today.
With a push mower.
No.
With a push
I'm
mower.
not riding lawnmower.
Was it one of the old school little?
Yeah, no.
I used to use one of
We
those.
buy the cheapest lawnmower.
And
every
because
couple
cutting grass is like, when I get a little older, I'll get a riding lawnmower, but I use it as like some of my exercise. And so I cut grass all day, had enough time to like shower up, rinse off, and the videos, I usually keep a couple videos in the chamber to like post that day if I don't get to make them.
Yeah.
And so I had a couple that I just wasn't like, I'm not feeling these today. And so she gets home from what she's doing, I shower up, put some clothes on, eat, and then we shoot the video and right outside in our driveway. It's like, I think I pull up to a car and I'm like looking at something. We shoot that little piece. It took us like 10 minutes. Half the way here, coming here, she's driving. I'm editing it. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's on his phone. Like, that's all. Yeah.
And I've gotten to where I've trained myself to do that because it's just easier. And then so I'm putting it together. She pulls over. She proofreads, make sure my grammar is correct on the thing. I schedule it for 5:45. So we do have that's when we do our post every day. Schedule it. I'll start driving, and then she's putting on her makeup to come over here. And that's the life.
Yeah.
That's the life that we live. But it's not all glory. Like a lot of people watch the show, see us out places, and they're like, "Oh man, you living life." It's like, brother, you couldn't last a week, with the stress, with the stuff. Like I about put myself in the hospital over stress because I didn't know how to deal with stress.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to like take care of myself better and box breathing and meditation and all this stuff, because for the first time in my life, I was feeling real pressure and stress, you know? And even sometimes I got to tell myself to slow down. Like a while ago, I was like talking, I'm like getting out of breath, like getting all excited because I'm on this cool podcast with you guys and telling this story. And I'm having to like remind myself, like, hey, brother, take a deep breath. Let your wife talk. Let them talk. Like breathe a little bit, you know? Anyway.
How do your kids feel about your business and company? I saw the one podcast where your son was on there and you're talking to him and stuff. And I bet that they enjoy it. But what is their life kind of like because of what you've built?
It's interesting. Our oldest is 21. When we started Beachbilly, he was in the end of 5th grade. And we moved off the grid that summer. He was going into 6th grade. So he was our oldest. And then they went on down. Our other one was going into 3rd grade, I guess. And then another one was just a little fella. He was like 3. Beachbilly's all they've known.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's the majority of your childhood, your teenage years. I don't know what they think sometimes.
They like it.
They do.
They like it, but they like it, but they like the behind the scenes part of it.
Yeah.
Like when we had the show, the national, it was originally going to be about our family doing the beach, starting the brand and us going out and doing stuff. And after the first episode, they were like, yeah, we don't want to do this anymore. The oldest was like, I don't want to be a reality TV star. And my middle son was like, hey, I dig it, but I don't really, he's shy. She's a little more reserved. And he was like, I just want to play football. And he is now, he's playing college football. He's like, I got my own dreams and aspirations. The youngest one, he's kind of like a lot like me. He was like, yeah, let's do it, you know? And so halfway through the filming the first season, it switched from a reality show about a family to a travel show. And another blessing in disguise, where at the time I was like, man, what are we going to do? We switched it to more like a destination. Let's go meet Beachbillies at other places. And that's what made it do so good. That's why they wanted a season 2. That's why this producer is coming in and wanting to take it. And they're going to make it like a Anthony Bourdain, but like a Beachbilly version of that is the goal. Gotcha. Like a travel thing where we're going to Costa Rica, back down to Key West, places where there's chickens in the road and people live kind of the lifestyle we live 24/7, you know?
Nice.
And so, but they love it. They get a kick out of it.
When we first started it, he was filming everything. Filmed everything. So they, I think, were just like, do we have to film again?
Yeah,
they were just getting tired of it.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't know what we were doing. And
our dad talking to everybody because everywhere I'd go.
Everywhere. And the boys are like, oh gosh, he's talking to people again. He's telling about people. Like, I don't know. It's just for them. But now I think they totally respect it and they love it. They wear our shirts every day. And, you know,
what's cool is like a story about, because they don't go brag on it. They don't go around telling everybody like, hey,
they wait till other people find out, and it gets really funny.
Like my son was working,
our oldest one.
Yeah, he was working at a place for like 4 months. And then someone come in one day and a couple people, he went into work one day and like everybody on staff was like, your dad's the Beachbilly? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, why didn't you say anything about it? He was like, I just don't, you know. And so they thought it was the coolest thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's the most popular one in the family, that's for sure. Everywhere we go. Beachbilly. They don't even know his first name half the time.
People call me
Billy. I was like, not even close.
So, but I like it. I take it. It's good stuff, you know.
And so y'all do events and also sponsor local music artists as well, from what I understand, correct?
Yeah, we try to get involved and do some things here locally with the music. But it's really hard because with it growing the way it is, it's kind of sometimes hard to stay like hyper local with that stuff.
Yes.
And so we've
But in the past we did a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, but I love music. I grew up, my dad was from Kentucky and he could play pretty much a lot of instruments, and my brother's really musically inclined. I'm like not, but you know, I grew up going to Opryland every year and doing the, Grand Ole Opry and all that stuff. So music's a big part of my life and my kids' lives and stuff like that. And so, but yeah, I try to promote stuff that I can that fits like that Beachbilly thing.
Very cool. Yeah, I see y'all's name a lot on sponsorship boards around the area, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
it's good that there's companies that do that.
Heck yeah, man. We try to, try to help people out. We've been blessed and try to turn around and bless other people too.
That's
when
what
we
it's
can.
all about. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah. If there's not a purpose behind it, then what are you doing it for?
That's right. You got to have your why in everything you do too. That's
Right.
what
Yeah. I
we
was going
had
to say
learn.
the story. The story matters.
Yeah. And if your why is going back to where not being money driven, if your why is to be rich or like is to be famous, all that stuff's fake. To be honest with you, like the fame
100%.
and all that, because everybody likes you when you're doing something, and when you're not, nobody seems to really care. You know what I'm saying?
They also want free tickets.
They also want free T-shirts.
Oh, we get asked all the time.
Yeah.
Can you hook me up with a T-shirt? I'm like, we got a website. You can look there if you like.
I'm the giver. I will give stuff
he will
away.
give I'm like,
She's like
stop.
you. She's like, no.
No. Because I don't much, especially when we were doing it all ourselves. Thankfully, we're
Sure.
not in charge of the apparel really anymore. We have somebody else taking that over. But I mean, there was a while where I was the shipper. We managed the website. I did all the, packaging and dropping everything off and getting.
How
everything
long
mailed
was it
out.
before y'all were able to start automating some of your more menial processes like that?
To be honest with you, the last 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I haven't had to ship anything for the last. Yeah.
Yeah, she would ship everything, and we'd get the orders ready, along with doing the social media, along with doing the show, along with doing the promotion.
And we tried every way to print shirts.
Yeah.
We tried drop shipment. We had a buddy that helped us for a while. And he had a screen print
Yeah,
in his garage. Our oldest son helped him out. He would help him out. Like it was constantly trying to figure out the best way to do it. It's insane.
What is the best way if it's not drop shipping, would you say?
licensing.
Yeah.
Everything you want to do is licensed. Like we have a lot of things in the works that we're going to be just slapping our logo on, and I'm going to, products that I'll use that we're just going to do a licensing deal. Just promote it and get a check at the end of the month, and let the professionals handle it.
'Cause that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh
got
my
like
gosh.
with apparel, you got like sales reps and tons of stores and people out there trying to do shows and sell it and talking to them and then shipping it all and making sure it gets to the right place. And there's a lot of things that go in with that. you
Right.
know?
When I started Fuzzy Fiddler, it was intended to be kind of a lifestyle brand of sorts. It was like beard products. I used to have a beard that was down
Oh,
here,
wow.
and it got to a point where people were talking more about the beard than my music. And I was like, well, if I ever am unable to play, and for a few years there was, I had some shoulder and back issues and manage them now, but there was a time where I was like, well, what am I going to do if I can't play? So I came up with the Fuzzy Fiddler brand, and it started with beard products that nobody bought. And now it's been albums and T-shirts. I'm still having, trying to figure out how to move units of, and going now into confectionery and coffee, and just trying to, be a giant umbrella corporation, one little thing at a time.
Yeah, man. Well, always think about the end game, because the blessing will be that it gets too big that you can't handle it anymore. And then what is your next step? Right. And that's what we did with apparel. And we teamed up with a really good guy and his family that has built 2 successful clothing brands before, and then sold them off. And now they just got into wanting to print for people, and they did that for so long. And he got to where he was printing our stuff for us. And it got to be where it was like too much, and I was telling him one day, I was like, man, I don't know if we should keep the apparel side of it. It's fun, but I might just stop that for a little bit and focus on the show and social media. And he was like, no. He was like, I'm driving down this weekend. And he drove down from North Mississippi. And after a talk over the weekend, he was like, let me just take over the apparel side of stuff. Let's do a licensing deal. I'll handle everything. Sales reps, the orders, the this and that, the online sales. And you just get out and promote it and be the ambassador and the face of the company. And I'll handle everything else.
The story,
I like that idea a lot.
The story of my why on Fuzzy Fiddler is I have a law enforcement background as well, and an idea came to me to give music lessons and try to use my sales of merchandise to procure instruments for veterans and first responders that can't afford them, and to have a purposeful company mission.
That's awesome.
And I've also went to Tennessee and last October for the Helene and did some disaster recovery. We'd like to do things like that. So I'd like to grow my personal brand more so that I can do more mission-based things like that.
That's awesome, dude. I feel like if your goal is to help people, you bless others, the blessings come back to you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had trouble trying to find people that align with all that. Like we were talking earlier, empty promises and stuff. You can tell people your visions and all that stuff, but we just have not come across the people to, help elevate it yet.
Yeah, you will.
And the podcast side, too, is the same thing. We had a mission, really, because we kept talking to local government not being heard. And we were like, we need to give people a voice. And there's nothing here, like in Baldwin, Escambia, that really allows people to come in and have a voice and tell a narrative. And it's funny, you're talking about some of the stuff, the first person we had on, it was just people that were voiceless that wanted to come in and talk. And there was a really big need for that. And sometimes we'll sit there and get technical, like, oh, this video looks like crap, like the lighting is bad. One of the camera messes up, it's blurry, but in the end we still put it out anyways, even if it's not perfect, because the story is what matters, and those people are so grateful, and otherwise, wouldn't have the opportunity a lot of the time, and it's like, well, that's why we do this, because it's about the relationships, giving them the voice, and as much as we will sometimes get bogged down in that stuff, it really boils down to his original mission, which is why it's kind of like an offshoot of that, of like helping people and giving them a voice and trying to make things better. It's really what we try to focus on all the time, and it's cool to hear other people talk like that, because sometimes it feels like you're the only one.
Yeah. No, they need more. The world needs more people like us. Let's admit it.
Helpers.
There's a lot of takers out there. Trust me. I didn't know. I grew up in the world of, my dad was a preacher, and so we grew up, you helped everybody. Law enforcement, you're there to serve. You're there to protect and serve and help people. And when I got into the business side of things, not everybody's there to help. There's a lot of people there to take, to be a part of something because they just want to put their name on something. And, sometimes, and I've had people come in and help and then have to be like, this ain't going to work out, because they didn't have the same vision or the same ideas that we were. And they just wanted the idea of being a part of Beachbilly was cool, but they didn't want to work and help.
I bet you did have to guard that pretty well, especially once it started taking off.
Yeah. I had actually someone that helped me is a buddy of mine that works for a big machine in Nashville, the record label there. And he was talking about, like, with your business, he said, you got to look at it like it's a garden. And he said, if you have a garden with no fence around it, you constantly got rabbits and deer and things coming in there, eating all your fruit, eating on it. You got to put a fence around it and a gate. And you're very selective on who you let into your garden. And I'm a simple-minded guy, and that was the first time when he put it like that, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. And so we've built a fence around the garden, and now we're very protective on who gets to go in the garden, But I have some friends that have been with us since day one and have supported us, helped us out. We've had people that, at the beginning when we were doing this and could barely pay bills, have come in and helped us out. And now the goal is to turn around and help them out, and people like that helped us before it was anything, that are smart people. They're the ones that when we wanted a partner, when we wanted people to be a part of something, like, hey, help in this area, that's the people we went to and was like, hey, we got a spot for you now. What do you think? And they're like, let's do it,
Yeah.
And so we've learned a lot. And it's just a learning process, man. There's been a lot of times, especially at the beginning, that I went to bed telling her, I'm just going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to start putting my application out at places. I give up, I'm done. And she'd be like, well, just think about it for another day or two. And I would, and I'd wake up the next day and I'd be like, I'm going to give it one more week. And it seemed like in that week, something huge happened, So don't give up. If you're watching this, don't give up.
Support.
And I heard somebody else was very successful say that. They said, the difference between people that are successful and aren't successful, sometimes it took longer, but they're the people that didn't give up. Because there's a lot of people that start a business, and after a couple months, they're like, Our situation was, she was a school teacher. She was always had that consistent income coming in, but I didn't, and my back was against the wall. And so in a way, I kind of burned the boats. There's a lot of people that have like a very nice job, and they make a lot of money, but yet they want to go start a business. And as soon as the time, they don't have that, they're not desperate enough. It's like, I'm just going to fall back on this because I make a lot of money. It's like, no, you really want to do it, quit your job and go do it, you know?
Yeah.
Because when it's like, I got to make money or I'm going to starve, that's very motivating.
Entrepreneurial spirit is very real.
Yeah. Yeah, not everybody can do it. I hate to say that. But not everybody can do it, you know? And, I mean, I would dare to say that, like, you probably wouldn't want to, she's not the personality that would be like, she is give me a task.
Tell me what to do and I'll do it.
And she does a great job at it. Like, every place she's worked, she's that person that, like, every time she's had to leave a career, they were like, we'll give you a raise, whatever you don't leave, because she's a tremendous worker, you know? But it took me being kind of the free spirit, having that entrepreneurial spirit, and her being like, I'm going to support you in what you're doing. And she gets it now. And now she's the boss, you know? She's, like, learned how to do it.
Well, now, like, if we set up, we don't do as many, like booths and setting up to sell apparel anymore because we're not really in charge of it, you know, but that's one thing I always like to do, especially in the last year or two when we were really, you know, doing it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind giving the spiel. Like, when somebody comes up, hey, have you ever heard of Beachbilly? And I just, whoop, and I can do that because you're telling, this is what I need to say. All right, I got it. I can sling a t-shirt now. But you asked me that 5 years ago, I was like, well, I don't know what we're doing. So, you know, it's
She knows what we're doing now. She tells me what to do every day.
You know, every day I'm like, all right, what's the plan? And I'm on summer break right now. So it's like, all right, what do we got this week? We have anything? Got filming? Got meetings? You got, what emails do we need to send? Tell me, what do I need to do? I'll sit down at the computer. I'll work for an hour. What do you need me to do? So,
Yeah.
Are you still teaching?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you teach in Pensacola?
I do. I teach out of middle school. I teach culinary arts. So
Oh,
I get
that's
to teach
awesome.
cooking, family and consumer science. And I've been at the same school for, I think this is my 13th year. Yeah.
She's
That's
good.
how I knew that you said you guys are helpers. You said you was a teacher because I teach too I teach Pensacola State College, college law. So it's something that I know does not pay a lot of money, but I would rather teach law than practice law because I feel like I made more of an impact doing that than clocking in every day and being miserable and working a 9 to 5. And
No, I love
I'm
what
gonna
I do.
that. Yeah, it takes a special person to be like, okay, the next generation's got this. Let me give you what I know and be patient enough to handle it. For me, I couldn't do little kids, but college kids
Nah.
were good. Like
Middle school's
speaking
fun.
of that.
It's never the same day twice. I was just at the store today and I'm walking down the aisle, Miss Brown! And it's one of my students I just had this year, you know, she gave me a big old hug and, you know, so I like what I do. It's a fun job.
And she's good at it. The kids like her.
Yeah.
What is y'all's main strategy, would you say, for sales for just flat out moving units?
Social media, and then the show.
So
and-
being on video is just king, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of our main thing. Do you have a hair tie? Thank you. We'll pull
And
my
we
hair.
in stores too. I mean, for a while we were the only ones that would do it. Like we had to go. I'll wait a second.
She usually does my hair.
Wow.
This is sorry to throw a wrench in it, but she usually puts my hair up and she usually washes my hair for me because this is a freaking mop.
Usually,
She does it all the time. But that's the thing with the show, the social media. I try to wear like a hat or a shirt in everything that we do. And so someone will be like, I want that hat. I want that
Subtle
shirt.
placement.
Subtle
yeah.
placement.
So that still
Product
is working.
placement.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And then on the larger scale, that's what we're trying to get in with some of our friends in Nashville with some of these artists. We got some people that we've worked with in the past, some people we're going to work with in the future to where, you know, they get up in a concert and they're wearing a Beachbilly hat or a Beachbilly shirt and stuff like that. And so trying to get that thing going, but it grew. It started like here locally, getting people to do that. And now we're kind of moving it nationally. You know?
and we have a good product too. Like I know it's t-shirts
I mean,
and
that's
hats,
key,
but
yeah.
like when we're selling them and people touch them, they're like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know, like we spent a lot of time and energy.
Speaking of, I'm going to put this right there.
We spent,
yeah.
I would say he spent a lot of time and energy on the product itself, not just the logo and the designs, but like the material. Like if you're going to want to sell a shirt, and I felt horrible, like when prices go up on everything. I'm like, oh, $20 for a t-shirt. No, you can't sell a t-shirt for $20 and make it anything, but like, the material and how it's made and all
Absolutely.
that. Like you got to have a good product because you want repeat customers. You don't want to just sell one t-shirt to one person and they never buy another. You want them to come back and buy another one or buy one for somebody else to send them. We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
People being like, "Oh, I got one of your shirts. Now I have 8 of them."
Yeah, because they just love the feel, and the product itself sells itself. Like, they enjoy it.
You know how it is. Like, sometimes it's hard to find that pair of jeans that fit just right.
Yes.
But when you find that pair of jeans, you're like, "That's
I'm
the
never
jeans."
buying
Yeah.
another brand
Yes,
again.
Right?
Yes,
that's all
exactly.
I like.
Or like a
Exactly.
shirt. Like, I have shirts that I wear. They're like, "Oh, I love the way it fits on me." You know, and I'm like, that's my go-to shirt. And so I wanted that to be for Beachbilly. I wanted people to be like, not only like what it looked like, but how it felt, how it wore. It was breathable. And so we spent a lot of time with that. And so, like she said, and we have people now that, like, every time we come out with a new design,
They buy it.
they'll buy it.
Yeah.
Nice.
When we first started with the apparel and I was doing all the shipping and stuff, we'd get an order. I'm like, ooh, where's it going? And, oh, it's family. But that's nice. I'm glad family's buying our stuff.
Yeah.
And it got really exciting when we're like, wait, do we know anybody in Missouri? No, that's not a family member,
Yeah.
is it?
That's
You know,
that was
that's when it got really cool. We're like,
Yeah.
strangers? We didn't
That's
ask them to buy it. You know? Or if we're out in public now in Pensacola, I just saw a guy with our hat on the other day at Walmart. I'm looking, do I know that? I don't know that guy.
we get people that'll tag them wearing our stuff all on social media. We had a guy send us a picture.
Yeah.
What was it, 2 days
Hot
ago?
Springs, Arkansas.
He was in. They were in Arkansas doing something, and the guy was at a grocery store at the register wearing a Beachbilly shirt. So we'll have people send it and be like, "Oh, dude." And so that's cool stuff. But yeah, it went from where the only people that bought it was friends and family to
to strangers.
now we're
That's awesome, yeah.
like I said, we got stores in it. I mean, we're going to do the Alvin's Island thing. We did a deal with Walmart with hats, but we wanted
That was
to.
a couple years ago.
That was a couple years ago, and we did it long enough to realize we didn't want to do that anymore. We didn't want to be. It was cool for brand recognition,
Yeah.
but we wanted to kind of do the Alvin's Island, the mom and pop
Beach stores.
beach stores
Yeah,
and
that makes
stuff.
more sense.
Boutique, stuff
And
like that.
and there's a lot of people that find their stuff through there. They'll be shopping and they'll see Beachbilly and they identify with it and they buy it and then they'll start following us on social media. So it's kind of like everything kind of goes full circle. It's like you grow up on a farm, a lot of like closed loop farm. You know, you sit there and the food you don't eat from the garden you throw into the chickens and this and that.
Right,
so it
yeah.
all kind of works together.
Compost pile and all
Compost
that.
pile, that's it, man. You know?
Yeah.
We did that for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, product quality. I wouldn't put anything out that I haven't gone down an absolute rabbit hole for days, weeks, and months.
Yeah. You said you do coffee, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had to research where you got your beans. And
Yep, country
all
of
that.
origin. Where did coffee come from? What is the noble
pesticides are they
tree?
using,
Yep,
or
all
what are they
that
putting-
stuff.
yeah, 'cause if you're
What
gonna
is a
put your
full
name
city
on it,
roast?
yeah.
Yeah,
Were you
absolutely.
sitting there like, you made like a timer sheet?
How much coffee have you had to drink just to get the rating?
Oh yeah, but if I'm not doing this, I haven't tested enough.
That's okay. I'm a coffee consumer for sure.
Yeah, us too. If nothing else, we'll at least save on the coffee that we're
Buying from the
buying
store,
already
yeah.
roasted.
That's how we feel about our eggs with our chickens. Like,
Yeah.
well, at least I ain't gotta buy these at the store.
Yeah,
Right.
I like my little basket of there for my chickens. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's got 2 chickens and they're generating like so much every week. It's like we never have to buy eggs so much. They're just right here.
Yeah.
And it tastes so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The sustainability of the Beachbilly lifestyle, really, like, it's funny because you didn't really put a label on it, but that's kind of like what a lot of people everywhere apparently do, but particularly here. And I'm from the Perdido area too, so it's
Are you?
funny. My house used to be off Bower, like off Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
I teach at Bailey. That's my school.
My
Yeah.
nephew goes to Bailey.
Oh, okay,
I got
cool.
him in the class. It's funny because my son went to Brown Bars, but we were there right
Yeah.
next to that area.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I moved out here now in Gulf Shores because I always wanted to leave school, to be honest. But that side is the side. That's
Yeah,
home.
I like our side. I mean, I like Pensacola. We've been in the Pensacola area for 15, 16 years now at least. But we've always lived on that side, the Perdido side in that area.
Yeah. And we were talking about that coming over here. It's like it's been a minute since we've been past the wharf.
Yeah.
And we were like seeing a new roundabout and all this stuff. We're like, man, this place is like a whole other
How do you
world
like
of growing. That's
It's
a-
huge.
Isn't it?
Is a massive roundabout. So, I mean, compared to the one we have in Perdido, it's... You know,
Yeah, the one in
we won't go
Perdido
there.
is a joke.
And it's like this big. You're like, oh.
Yeah, we use it for sure.
Thank you, Josh
Hey.
and Jessica, for coming here today and talking to us at WFUZ. You guys are awesome. If you want to look at their products or buy products, which you totally should because they're amazing, the website is
BeachbillyLifestyle.com, Beachbilly.com. It all goes to the same place.
check it out and watch the show, and you can get their merchandise at Alvin's Island and other places apparently.
Yep. And then we here locally, you can get it at all the souvenir cities, Pretty Key Souvenirs and more. Pensacola Beach, you can get it at Intercoastal Outfitters as well. And our show's on Amazon Prime, Tubi, the Roku channel. Check it out. And if you're not following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, please do. We put out really funny videos every day, or at least I think they're funny.
Thank you. The reels are awesome.
Thank you so much for having us on this.
Thank
This is
y'all.
a really cool experience. Y'all got a cool thing going there for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.